Here are the top posts from Who Would Win on the 2nd of November 2019.
I am not blue. Can Count Dracula remain president for a full term without being impeached, arrested or murdered? Ranger Matthias. Be real hard for him to fulfill his requirements of office while keeping his vampiric secret. He couldn't go out in bright sunlight, enter holy ground, or be present during a religious service, like being blessed by a minister. And could you imagine him meeting the Pope? Especially in the Vatican? Plus, he's not a naturally born American citizen, so he'd have to have a fake birth certificate. Hope he really created a solid fake identity. Nah, I don't think he could pull it off. He might be able to pull off vice president and control the president, pull the strings from behind the curtain.
Slimevsters II. Being murdered isn't an issue. In fact, he has a higher chance of dying by sunlight than being murdered. He's the president, so he could do some changes to hospitals and get a couple of blood bags daily. For scientific purposes, entering holy places is another hard part since he has to somehow avoid them while not coming of us. Rude. I'd give him 5/10 odds.
Gregly Gaming Alt. Can't see why not. Blood bags would be easy to supply. Dracula has very high charisma and is a strong, dedicated leader who would not be a pushover either. Obviously depends on his policies, but keeping the presidency is much easier than winning it. Nitronic Atom. Gru vs Megamind.
Dragoon Zolom. Fool. You've fallen for one of the classic blunders. The most famous of which is never get involved in a land dispute in Asia. But only slightly less well known is this. Never include a meme character in a VS battle and expect non-meme answers. In all seriousness, is a genius with engineering clout above Gru. But his direct combat is? He may spaz-fire his dehydration gun, which is a fight ender potentially. He's shown no hesitation with it. But meme Gru may dodge. Gru has literally one scene of that level in the first film, while Gauls lusted. As for the rest, he appears bottom-end superhuman, peak human with missile durability. Is average human with superhuman traits. He reacted several times to Titan trying to blitz him while in his mech and took a fair bit of damage without showing it in the aftermath, and has crafted 2 Metro Man imitation suits which allow him to briefly engage Titan and a giant robot of himself. Button of Doom. Once again, Megamind in H2H's based on fights scene. It feels like a tough call, if only because no bots. They are a huge advantage in terms of weapons deployment and tactics. In character, is more playful and would likely ride any advantage he gains to the edge of victory, and then hold off, wanting to have more fun. Gru has no time for this shit and would be going for a win early. Yet he tends to underperform unless properly motivated. 7/10 Gru due to wanting it more. Blood. What have you lusted? Has bigger toys for beating bigger boys. Kill satellite. Mech. Other mech. Just as examples. It would only take a distracting hologram and one shot. Heck, his dehydrator has 2 kill settings. Gru lusted would likely steer away from his ice ray towards his kill Y weapons as well. Ironically, this may lessen his OHK chances since such weapons brought to the table include a plasma orb launcher with a slow-firing projectile, a faulty missile launcher that can't OHK a minion, and next best thing, a straight-up laser gun. Why's freeze laser? Freeze seems to encase large areas even on glancing blows. A laser only cuts what it hits. That said, Megamind dodged Titan trying to loss him for about 30 uninterrupted seconds before getting tagged, while was distracted by Roxanne. Intuition says at least 7/10 monsieur. Vehicles included both rounds 9/10. I don't see any of Gru's gear standing up to paired mecha when Vector was a match for Gru's heaviest artillery.
Epic Superbat. Gru has absolutely insane speed, and killed a shark in a single hit.
Get off my lawn 004. Gru is a 14-foot-tall giant who can run faster than the speed of sound. Megamind might be able to take his lumps, but he can't overpower the Knight of Gru.
MEODP2. Aang, Avatar, The Last Airbender, vs. TX, Terminator 3.
Spoken word. I'm on the fence for round 1. I think it could go either way. On the one hand, only Aang's most powerful earth-bending and fire-bending attacks will be useful here. Offensively, water might have some use if he wields it like a pressurized water used to cut metal, but we've seen that's not easy for him, so I'm skeptical of its value as a tactic. On the other hand, Aang might be too fast and mobile for the Terminator to consistently tag. Aang is a lightning timer and is extremely mobile with air bending. I'll give a slight edge to T3R1 because I think Aang will play around too much and an extended battle favors the Terminator. 6/10. Round 2 is a complete stomp for Aang. In the Avatar state, you are talking about a character strong enough to alter tectonic plates and create islands, or manipulate and hold back the destructive force of an erupting volcano. And Aang will no longer be playing around. R2 Aang could literally bury her so deep on underground the heat and pressure will destroy her body, or slap her between the building-sized slabs of earth. Or W. Aang 9/10.
IN 547148L3. R1, Aang stomps. R2, Aang rifle stomps.
One random Redditor. TX is really good against piercing and heat attacks. Blunt force is actually what did the most to her up till her termination. Aang has more than enough earth around him to crush TX. He can't rely on the 3 other elements though, as those won't do much to TX's extreme durability. The Zeph God. Arthur Fleck Joker vs. Deandra Sweet D. Reynolds. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Thunderpants dance. Fleck has the crowd uncomfortable. Maybe a few pity laughs before he starts to laugh too much. Starts coughing and gagging and gets off the stage. Very distraught but unlikely to cause much incident. Post Murray is a different story. He's not going to get genuine laughs, but people are probably gonna die. So there's a positive for him, I suppose. D crashes and burns and crashes and gags and burns and probably throws up. Gets laughs, but more laughing at than with. Standard D gets pissed but mostly at herself. Leaves and lies about how it went. Broken D shrugs it off. But Range Rover the D probably causes an incident. Either gets herself hurt or starts throwing shit at these dumb bitches. I'm funny, damn it. Standard bird things. D definitely does worse. Has the highest chance of causing injuries. And highest chance of being injured herself. Post Murray is the wild card. Does death count as an injury? Bonus round. Fleck loses interest in him really fast. He'll find Mac annoying but overall okay. Frank will disgust him before he knows how rich he is. Dennis and D will likely infuriate him through insults. But I expect he'd be kind of okay with Charlie until he realizes just how dumb he really is. He either stops caring and leaves, or stabs Dennis. Pretty high chance Dennis gets stabbed depending on how far through the movie this Fleck is.
This is Ariel Account 99. D is way less funny for sure. When I saw Joker I was laughing my ass off at his jokes because of how uncomfortable they all were. I'm sure at least a few people in the audience would think that the whole act was a meta joke, and he was purposefully being bad. D just gets on stage and dry heaves and cries and leaves. Mystery Redditor 23. Marvel Magic users vs. DC Magic users at who could impress a group of kids the most.
The absolute bean-eater. This comes down to Doctor Strange and Zatanna IMO, in which I really think it's close, with a slight edge to Zat.
Lord Blizzard 58. I know since this isn't a win condition, but I can totally seeing this happen in an event like this. Doctor Doom performs his greatest trick, making all the other contestants' powers disappear. He has done this multiple times.
Germano Alexander. With Zatanna and Constantine on the same team, this would be a stump. But unfortunately Clarion is way too much of a dick and would likely try to kill the kids or something, which would count as an auto disqualification for Team DC. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.